Hey everybody, it's Jax again from the Popcorn Review Podcast. This is my episode 66, AEW Blood and Guts. Holy fucking shit. If you didn't watch this, you're in for a fucking ride. And if not, I recommend you watch it, guys, because this shit was crazy. Again, this is the first ever women's Blood and Guts match for AEW. And wow, did these fucking women deliver. So, this is the first time ever the women's have done a Blood and Guts match, like I said. Now, it was 5 versus 5. Megan Bain, Marina Shafir versus the Sisters of Sin, Sky Blue, Tekla, and Julia Hart. Actually, I'm sorry. It was 6-on-6. You actually had Mercedes Moné in there as well. Versus Toni Storm, Chris Statlander, Marina Shafir, Harley Cameron, Jamie Hayter, and you had Willow there. Now, this match was fucking insane from start to finish. Like, there was only Willow and Sky Blue in the fucking match to start. And boom, Sky Blue's already busted open within 5 minutes. She was bleeding since once she got into the ring, technically, or almost, I should say. But this match was insane. You had the women, the heels, doing their fucking thing. Yeah, you had Willow and you had Harley Cameron doing their thing for a while. They were all doing their thing. They're all taking spots. But I had a feeling that the women, the heels were gonna win, and that's exactly what played out. Now, you had bats with barbed wires, you had chairs, you had tables in this shit, you had fucking mirrors, you had glass, you had beds of nails. You even had Julia Hart and Tekla squeeze out of the fucking diamond side of the fucking cage where there was like a little hole and escaped. During that escape, though, you had Mercedes Moné tossing bitches out of the fucking ring. And I thought it was going to end there because I thought she was going to kind of lock in just one of the girls and just be a one-on-one match. But that wasn't the case. She fucking just kept throwing bitches out of the ring. At one point, though, she actually took all of her championship belts and started handing them out. And they were just putting belt to ass. They were just whooping the ass of everybody else. So literally, she handed out belts, and the fucking 6 girls just started beating the shit out of the other team with the belts. Now, they started coming back for a little bit. Mina was doing her thing. Toni Storm was doing her thing. And again, this match was way better than the men's match. They should have been the main event, and that's my opinion. People are going to get upset. Guys, the women's Blood and Guts match was a fucking 10. Hands down a 10. Have you ever seen anybody squeeze through a fucking little hole in the fucking cage or the fucking upright or the strut, whatever, and escape the cage? No. The guys are too fucking big for that. Even some of the women were too fucking big for that. That's why Julia Hart and Tekla were the ones who squeezed through because they can actually do it. Never seen that happen before. Might have happened in another fucking match somewhere, but I personally never seen it. These girls, again, this match was a fucking 10. You had Mina, bloody fucking face. Megan Bain, bloody face. You had who else? You had Sky Blue, bloody face. Willow, bloody face. Harley Cameron, she was bloodied up too, but not as much as everybody else. This show, I would say, put those women on the map. Now, I'm not going to say all these women are going to be there for the next year's match, but if they are, holy shit, we're in for another fucking ride. Again, this match was better than the men's Blood and Guts match. I don't care what anybody says. You can't tell me otherwise. The ladies did their fucking thing. Now, the fucking Mercedes Moné, Megan Bain, Marina Shafir, and the Triangle of Madness, they took the win. The way they took the win, though, was Mina had Megan Bain in the not the sharpshooter, the figure 4 leg lock with a fucking bat with barbed wire in between to putting pressure on the leg. During that, though, you had Marina Shafir saw the glass that was on the floor, stomps on it with her bare feet, and kicked Marina Shafir in her face or her throat area, and pretty much knocking her out, or at least knocking the submission off. Now, from there, you also had everybody else on the good guys was gone. Like everybody, they were knocked out or thrown out of the ring. Like I mentioned, Mercedes was throwing bitches out of the ring. Now, you had the Triangle of Madness pretty much holding Tony Storm down. Megan Bain stomping on Mina while she's being rear naked choked by Marina Shafir. Now, you had a choice, Tony. You either let your best friend suffer in that submission and getting beat down by another one, or you quit. And you gave up. You quit. You saved your friend from humiliation and possibly, injury. Now, it was nice to see, the girls released her. The girls hugged Tony Storm, and Marina kind of hugged it out. And the six girls stood strong there. But it was just a crazy outcome. I knew they were going to win personally. Just had a feeling they're pushing Megan Bain, and now they're pushing Marina Shafir. Holy fucking shit, there's going to be a dominant ass tag team. And wow, the women's Blood and Guts, guys, from me, gets a fucking 10. That's just my opinion. If you don't like it, don't know what to tell you. After that, you had a segment with, or actually a fucking brawl, I should say, with the Don Callis family beating down on Jurassic Express. And then there's like a little trailer in the background. And you had the Bucks with Okada come out, and Alexander's kind of choking out Jack Perry. And he goes, "Yeah, this is what you do. This is what happens when you mess with the family. You get all of us." And then Okada kind of looks at him. He goes, "TikTok boys, you're on the clock. TikTok boys, you're on the clock." And they kind of like disperse with Jack Perry laying on the floor, and they just look at each other like, "Fuck, man, like we got to make a choice." But I've mentioned this before. How much of a better story would be if the Bucks rejoin with Kenny Omega, rejoin the Elite, and fight the Don Callis family, or the fucking Bucks split up. One of them sees that they're going to be successful and have money with the family, so he goes that route, and the other one's alone and possibly joins back with Kenny. How much better of a story would that be? Either way, I'd be okay with either one. The Elite rejoining, going against the family, or the Bucks split and they're no longer the Bucks, just Nick and Matthew Jackson, or Nick and Matt separated, one with the family, one by alone, or hanging with Kenny. You guys let me know. What do y'all think? You had a match there with Hangman versus Hobbs later for Falls Count Anywhere. Hardcore day, so Falls Count Anywhere match would make sense. Hobbs, before the match started, was straight up like, "Hey, I'm not here to win. I'm here to hurt you. I don't care about the win. I'm here to make sure that you don't walk 100% into Full Gear." And when that match started, Hobbs went in on fucking Hangman. They made Hobbs look really fucking strong during this match. Now, for me, I think it was kind of a short match, personally. 15 minutes or so, give or take. I didn't time it, but it just felt like a quick match. But they were fighting in and out of the ring. They were fighting in the crowd. Long story short, though, they get up on like one of the entrance ramps. Hangman takes off his fucking boot and hits Hobbs in the face. Hobbs fall backwards, falls on a table. Sparks and smoke fly everywhere. Hobbs is either electrocuted or just knocked the fuck out. And then you have, Hangman come to the ring kind of celebrating. Before he gets into the ring, though, Shibata attacks, then Joe. They start beating him down, and then Joe looks up and looks at the cage, and the cage starts lowering. So I don't know who lowered it, story-wise, but they lowered it. Before it fully comes down, though, you have Hook and my man Eddie Kingston make the save. Joe and Shibata leave. Remember, Hobbs is dead in the corner or fried in the corner. And Hangman grabs the mic and he goes, "Joe, if you wanted me in a cage, all you had to do was ask. Just me and you at Full Gear inside a cage." Can't wait to see that shit. Honestly, I can't. That means that the ops can't get involved. Hook and you know, uh Hook and Eddie Kingston can't get involved technically. Yeah, they can pass weapons and stuff like that, but it's gonna be one hell of a match. Can't run. You're confined to the four walls of that steel cage. Can't wait to see it, guys. Let me know in the comments. What do y'all think? Um, then you had the men's Blood and Guts match. Again, I feel like the women's match was a 10. This match, I give it about a 6.5, 7. I felt like the guys did what they usually do, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful. I just like the women gave us so much that the men's couldn't live up to it. And that's just my opinion. The women's fucking killed it last night. But the guys did their thing. So the conglomeration and Darby Allin actually had the advantage. So it was Mark Briscoe's turn to come out. His song hit, "Reach for the Sky, Boys," and nothing. Crickets. They were OC and everybody, and Darby were looking like, "Yo, where the fuck? Where is he?" So all of a sudden on the video package or on the Titantron, they go, "Hey, Mark is out. We don't know what's going on. He was attacked." And then Roddy goes, "I'll go." So Roddy takes his place. Well, the match continues and more of the Death Riders come in. You had more of the conglomeration come in, and now they announced it. Mark Briscoe's out. He can't compete because he was attacked by the Don Callis family. So did Moxley accept the favor, or did Claudio accept the favor to make sure his team didn't lose? Now, there's a lot of speculation that Claudio is making deals with the family behind the back of Moxley. Don't know if it's true, but there's been a few interviews, especially on Collision. Claudio wasn't with the Death Riders. Everybody else was, but Claudio. So is Claudio trying to make an exit from the Death Riders, or is Claudio trying to take over for the Death Riders? I don't know, guys. But again, they said Mark Briscoe cannot compete because of the beatdown from the Don Callis family. So that means Don Callis family had two beatdowns. They beat down Jurassic Express and they beat down Mark Briscoe. Well, finally, everybody comes to the ring. It's 4-on-5. You had the conglomeration with Roddy and Darby Allin, so them four, versus the Death Rider squad, all five of them. And it's 4-on-5. And after a while, you see Mark Briscoe come out holding his ribs, bringing, I think, either a chair or a kendo stick, something. He was holding something in his hand. They're actually trying to stop him from getting to the ring. He's like, "Get the fuck out of my way." He breaks in with some little wire snips, cuts the chain there, gets in, and all hell break loose after that. Mark Briscoe had Yuta on top of the fucking cage. Somebody went through tables, somebody was getting like tapped out on glass or trying to get tapped out on glass. It was just, again, I still can't get over the women's match. It was so fucking good. But this match was decent. Yuta got out at one point. Him, like I said, him and Mark Briscoe were on top. Um, you had Darby Allin and Pac fighting outside, and then while they're out there, Darby Allin gets attacked by Gabe Kidd. So again, that means that Moxley had two fucking favors done in the same day. Gabe Kidd assisted, and you had the family try to take out Mark Briscoe. So who owes who a favor now? But we'll get to that later. Maybe it'll come out on another episode of Dynamite. But you had Gabe Kidd and Pac kind of beating down on Darby by the stage. They climb on top of one of the tunnels. They set up some tables, and Gabe Kidd's like, "Hold up, hold up." He runs to the back, grabs two little canisters of lighter fluid, lights the tables on fire. Pac fucking presses Darby, throws Darby on the fucking tables. His back catches on fire. Darby's out for the rest of the match. Darby does not come back. So it's either he experienced some really bad burns, or that was just the way of getting Darby off the map. And still now it's 4-on-5. 4-on-6 if you kept Gabe Kidd. So I think they actually kicked Gabe Kidd out at that point. But you had OC. He was wrestling or fighting, I should say, because this was a straight up street fight. Fighting Claudio and Moxley. And Claudio takes a bullet for Moxley at that point. So again, is Claudio trying to take over? Or is Claudio just trying to be the good soldier and he's the one actually stabbing, Moxley in the back? But guys, it was a crazy match. At one point, OC's got his hands in his pocket like he usually does, and I think it was Moxley who fucking stapled his hands into his pants so he couldn't pull his hands out. But he kept wrestling. Then from there, he pulls his hands out. Orange punch Claudio. You had Kyle O'Reilly versus Mox going back and forth, submission to submission. At one point, he has Kyle O'Reilly in the that bulldog choke that he likes to do, and Kyle O'Reilly's face is completely fucking red, and he just looks back at Moxley, gives him the finger, like "fuck you." Reverses that, puts Moxley in a fucking leg lock submission. They go back and forth for a while. Kyle O'Reilly finally gets the official win over Moxley in one of Moxley's, I would say, best things he does. Hardcore matches. He lost. He takes the pin takes the submission. So he lost to Darby Allin a couple weeks ago, and then takes another submission or taps out to Kyle O'Reilly. So you finally make Kyle look strong. I said in the past, all the referee interference or knocking out the ref, so they couldn't continue their match. Finally make Kyle O'Reilly look strong. Conglomeration and Darby Allin there, and Roderick Strong, because he still hasn't joined, take the win. So I knew the conglomeration were going to win. I knew Hangman was going to win. And I had a feeling the women's with Mercedes and Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir and the Triangle of Madness were going to win that match as well. Again, women's match took the show for me. Congratulations. Can't wait to see what's going to happen next year. Can't wait to see who wins the women's tag team championship belts. Holy shit. Yes, only 3 matches on fucking this card, but holy shit, were they fucking amazing matches. Again, women's match, I give a 10. Hobbs and Hangman, I'll give that shit about, I'm going to say a 7. The men's Blood and Guts match, I'm going to say about 7.5 or so. I think I might have went up or down on that, but still, women's match made the fucking night for me. And I'm going to post pictures throughout the video of all the women's all fucking crimson red, like JR says, blood mask, whatever you want to call it. But holy shit, this was a tremendous episode of AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts 2025. Thanks for watching. Have a great one.